Hello, everyone. Did I lose you? I'm really sorry. This might not be working. This is Lynn Marquidant from Simply Colorful. I'm here in the Hilton Garden Inn lobby. It's October 17th. Sheila Burton, if you're there, I might be able to do a hexie or two, but we just lost some connectivity there for a few minutes. So I'm going to try this one more time, and hopefully we will make some hexies. Send me emails if you see this, or texts. And boy, taking FiberCast on the road is not quite as easy as doing it from the studio. I'm a Hilton Honors member, and I was able to log in that way, so that worked. But then somehow, I don't know if there's caching problems with Google, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is we're together, and we're going to see what we can get done in the next 50 minutes. It's amazing what we'll get done, and hopefully many of you have already started working on your projects. And I am here with my bagel, or it's actually a pretzel that came from Buffalo Wings next door. So what we're working on are these Grandmother's Gardens hexies. And I think what I'll do tonight is I'm just going to work on getting my hexies ready and basting them. Now, Carrie, if you're out there, I know you do this via the glue, which was great to see, and I may try that someday, but right now I'm still just doing the old-fashioned, like my sister taught me. Hi, Karen, if you're out there, to just go around. And I need my thimble. Do you know, up until about 2 months ago, I never used a thimble in my life. And now I cannot do this without the thimble. So I'm pretty happy about that. I use it on my fourth finger, and you know, it's fine. I've tried it in the past, and I've just never gotten the hang of it, and now it's working quite well. What are you all working on? Sue Norton. I am loving the quilt that you've done during your holiday. I hope you've had a great vacation. And Karen out in San Diego, Karen K, love seeing the pictures of you with Bonnie. That was so nice. And I saw you in one of her posts, and I felt like you were famous. So that was really fun to see. And we had our Quilt Guild meeting. Sarah, if you're out there, thank you for sharing your talents and your time and your teaching with us. We had, I don't know, between 30 and 40 people. And Sarah, who's been on this FiberCast in the past, she made the Raggedy Ann with me. She came and showed us the shop pop this fall. And she's just a general artist. She came and gave us a trunk quilt and doll show to the marathon quilters, and it was just so inspiring. There was such a big body of work, and her husband Steve came, which was great. He took pictures. He even took a picture of all of us, the whole guild, so that's awesome. And it was just a really good, nice Tuesday night in the fall. Huh. So there is my hexie all ready to go.
I mean, the math just works out.
Let's see if you're out there and if you can see me. I hope you can see me.
She's a resident.
If nothing else, I just hate for you to think I'm there and not have me be there. I want to be predictable. So Jean said no signal tonight. Try now. Okay. Oh, Deb C says you're good. Hi, Deb C. Thanks for letting me know. That's cool. What are you working on? Thank you so much for letting me know. So Jean, I just let know. Let me see if anyone's on Gmail. Oh, good. Sue Norton. Hi, Sue. Okay, I see and hear you. Thank you for letting me know. And Jean says she's got it. Good. We're back rocking and rolling. Okay, so that one's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm in the lobby, as I mentioned. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the center. I don't know if you can see that. And then these are going to be the 6 that go around. Isn't that fun? And I do the whip stitching. So maybe.
You guys ready for the yet?
Yeah, we.
That's our collection from there. They would just like ask.
Yeah. Have you eaten?
How funny is this, huh?
We're gonna go beat up, so we're gonna do.
Yeah, we'll go over there.
Next door, you eat.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I gotta go brush my teeth.
I have to say,
I don't want to take it.
we were in Pittsburgh. So last night, here's what we've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Reagan. I'm back.
We drove to Pittsburgh,
I've got a
saw the view from Mount Washington.
space.
After you go through the tunnel, we went up to Mount Washington. We looked back over Heinz Field, PNC Field, and all the big skyscrapers and the 3 rivers that form together. And it was blustery way up there, but it was a nice day. It got up to the 70s around here.
What are you studying to be?
Sports management.
She's going into business though.
And then we drove down to Morgantown, West Virginia,
You get a double measure.
about an hour and a half south of Pittsburgh. And we met up with our family. I think we have about 16 of us be here.
How are you?
How are you?
And so now what I do is I go to this next piece and sew that on. And I'm just literally going to make the rose. Hi everyone, did I lose you? I might be losing you. Uh-oh. Hi everyone. I don't know what's going on. There sure are a lot of mountains. It's rolly hills out here. It's kind of like the Tennessee landscape a little bit outside of Nashville. And the colors are beautiful. Karen, not Karen K out in San Diego, but Karen M in Pennsylvania. Did you hear, did Brad tell you anything? We're kind of curious about that. Last. So since I've seen you last week, I wanted you to know that I finished that chair, that little hitty chair. I forgot to take a picture of it, but it's in the curio cabinet that Chris Myers gave me, and so that's ready for another doll to sit on. And that was a harder project to do than I thought. It was kind of like upholstering a chair in miniature. See, so now we have 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going around. Okay. There we go. So how many people have gotten their colors for Bonnie? We did end up going up to Pine Tree and then to Quilted Threads last Saturday. That was good. Got some sales, did a little damage. I probably have, I don't think I have enough quantities. I have a fair number of different types of fat quarters or pieces. But when I look and see that I need, 2.25 of the black, I'm not sure I have that much black. And I'm not sure, I think I have that many neutrals, but I'm not sure I have that much turquoise. So what we're going to do is, so I'll have to do a little bit more shopping, but also we're going to do a swap, a cut and swap on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So if anyone is in the neighborhood, swing by. We're going to have the GoPro, not the Pro, whatever, the AccuQuilt cranking out some things. Hopefully we'll have the dies that Bonnie suggests. And we'll trade some squares to give our quilts some real life. And by then we should be full of turkey, and we will have been tryptophaned out. We will have slept all night. And maybe we will have had pie for breakfast. You never know. Judy, if you're there, you may miss our cutting swapping, because I think you have to go back down to Felix Neck, if I'm remembering history right. In other news, there really isn't that much news. I guess tomorrow's football game, Baylor is 4th in the country, if I heard that right. Is anyone on a retreat this weekend? Or working away on your Dear Jane? I buffed up on my Civil War history. Not that I ever knew it very well, and I still don't, but I've recently studied it, so I have a few sound bites. And the reason is because next month, November, we're going to have a whole quilt meeting devoted to veterans, remembering them, and talking about and actually tying a Civil War reproduction quilt that Linda Grant has put together for us from squares that everyone on the Quilt Guild did together. And we're going to make a miniature Civil War ornament, and we're going to have a potluck dinner. Look at that. So we're getting there. 2 more. But before I want to check the lines and see who's out there. Oh, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Here in Morgantown, the campus of West Virginia, I guess there are about 39,000 students here. It's a big campus, and it's pretty much spread across the rolling hills of the city. And they have a tram that can take students from up above down into one part of the city where some of the dorms are. The cutest little tram cars, and they don't have operators. They work automatically. Cutest little thing. Okay, Deb C says, you're coming in and out. I'm so sorry. Got to let those guys in that room to shush. But I'm working on a shingle hat. Okay. Sue Norton. Okay, so thank you all for sending me emails so that I know you're out there. And I'm sorry if the reception is spotty. That's frustrating, and I understand if that. Yep. So Deb C says you're coming in and out. Got to let those guys in the room. Fortunately, the guys in the room left. But Deb says she's working on a shingle paper piece quilt and a block of the month from Leah Day. Ooh, neat. Keeping busy, fun to hang out with you on Friday. I think I'm going to try Bunny Hunter quilt thanks to you. Excellent. Oh, you won't be sorry. If it's anything like me, I got halfway through and I thought I was pretty proud of myself to be working with such small pieces, but because it's in little chunks and you just keep going, and before you know it, it's all together. That's great to hear. So says, thanks for mentioning my quilt. And Izzy, her dog, says hi back. So cute. Izzy looks so well behaved too. Joyce, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you from Maryland. Okay, and you can see me. Tonight she's putting together her globe-trotting quilt. And she says, thanks for FiberCast tonight. Okay. And Judy, hi. Watching tonight. It looks okay. Not quite as good as from Hopkinton. Have a good weekend. Thank you. We will. Thanks for tuning in. You have a good weekend too. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut this one short, and then next week we'll do an hour and a half. That would be kind of fun. Okay, and Jean. So Jean at one point, let's see. One more. Oh, I tried to go get another phone. I literally went into a Verizon store and I said, I'm time. It's done. See how long that took? I'm on a national plan through my company, so I couldn't get my phone from Verizon. So I have to call my national rep and probably order it, and it's going to take a while. Hey, Karen, hi. She says, hi to everyone out there. Looks like so much fun. It is. You can come with us. Anyone can. I think the stadium tomorrow is going to be huge. It's a 12 or 1 o'clock game. So Chris Myers says, I can see you now picking out my Bunny Hunter fabrics. Oh, good. Good. You should, like you said, I think, you should have a lot of those pinks and greens already. So Karen M. out there, did Brad say anything to you? Let me know, yes or no. And then if he didn't, I'll tell you what I thought he might tell you. And Jean says, you're in and out, but it's fun to see you working on a crossword puzzle quilt. Ooh, that sounds really fun, a crossword puzzle quilt. Wouldn't that be, are you making the crossword puzzles? And that would be really fun to do, like questions on the back and then fill it out in the front or something. Very neat. You are always doing something creative. All right, well, let's get back to our hexie. I want to start on the next set of rounds. So I have 2 more on this one. Now it's quiet. Isn't that funny? Huh. So the deal is, for tomorrow for our tailgating party, we, the adults, as in the adults who went to college 20 plus years ago, are buying the food, and the students, so Drew and his friends, are responsible for going tomorrow morning and getting us a spot to tailgate, and they'll set up the truck and then they'll cook the food, and we just go and show up and eat and drink. And eat. Mainly eat. But you need a little something to wash it down with. Oh, that got people buzzing. Talking about drinks? Karen M. in Pennsylvania says, Brad did tell me you stopped in, and it took me a few minutes to remember why in the world you and Bob would be in Bloom and not call me. But then it came to me. It's true, KB. And we didn't want to, we didn't want to make any plans. And I thought for some reason that you worked on Thursdays. But of course, once he said, no, that's your day off, I remembered that when we were working together, Thursdays was when we would get to work. So sorry the timing didn't go well. The store looks great. And it was nice to see Brad. And he told me about his Vixen camper, and he was so cute. He knew exactly that I wanted the Shasta camper. And I have seen more campers on our trip out here up on the hills than I've seen in pictures for all these months. So when the time comes, I think this is where I should start to look for a used camper. So Jean wrote back about the crossword. So I'm glad, Karen, I'm glad that Brad told you, and I'm sorry we missed you. Jean about the crossword quilt says, it's a crossword of family. It's a gift for my 98 years young grandmother who still does New York Times puzzle in ink every week. Wow. That is wonderful. That's your father's mother. Do I have that correct? Out in Western Mass. So it's a crossword of everyone in my family. First names, that's really cool. You'll have to tell us how she enjoys it. Wow, in pen. That is impressive. All right. So, this is, you make the least number of rows for the greatest impact in the middle here. Then it takes longer to add them, but that's okay. That's why I kept it for right now. Just wanted to say hi. Someone just buzzed. We have to figure out how to get you guys to be able to talk to each other. Maybe some night we'll really do an official hangout. Can you believe it's the middle of October? I just don't know where the time, it speeds up. Which is kind of interesting because at this age, things don't change all that much. So why, you would think it would slow down. Time would go slower because there isn't as much going on. Anyway. So, in the news, I am sorry to hear about the Ebola cases. I'm just really hoping that we can clamp down on movement of people. It seems to me if someone gets sick, why can't we figure out how to isolate them right there rather than moving them around the country? But then again, I guess there are certain hospitals like Emory that are really well equipped and prepared for infectious diseases. I was heartened to hear on the radio on the way down that the AMA, American Medical Association, was holding webcasts for doctors across the country and just giving them crash courses in how to prepare. So for any of you that are in the healthcare field, thank you for taking care of us and preparing and, geez, dealing with things like that. So I'm going to tie this off. They also said the largest population of Liberians living in the U.S. is Rhode Island, right near where I am in Massachusetts. I don't know if that's 100 people or 1,000. You know, it's not, probably not a huge population. Well, of course, I bet a lot of you heard that because it was reported that the president was going to come to Rhode Island, and he canceled that trip, right? Yesterday or the day before? I can tell you one thing, I wash my hands more than ever before. And I wonder if someday shaking hands will go out of vogue. We'll do the fist pump thing. I think that'll take a long time, but that would be interesting. All it would take would be a few influential people in the younger generation, and the handshake would be gone. Something I think about when I'm doing X's. Ay, ay, ay. You do get on a roll. Oh, I have to tell a nice story. So, as part of our quilting group this year, we're trying to do a few programs so that the membership people get to know each other better, and so we're, things that will help us do that. And one of those things, and a potluck next week, for example, is an opportunity for us to just sit down and have dinner rather than have a speaker come in and entertain us for 2 hours, which is great. And sometimes, believe me, it's nice to just sit there and hear from an expert. But again, we're trying to do things to encourage us to get to know each other. So one of the other things, in addition to a periodic dinner together, is we have these purple bags that Cindy made for us. And there might be 6 of them. And each month, 6 people take them, and then they are to use them or not to do a random act of kindness for someone else in the guild. It could be anything. Bake someone some cookies. Send them a surprise letter. Give them some fabric from your stash. Give them some cutout hexes. Whatever, a magazine article, anything. Well, Jean, who was out there, and Chris had one of what I thought was one of the more creative ways to do a random act of kindness. Recently moved, Jean decided to sneak to her house and plant bulbs in her front yard so that next spring the bulbs will come up. Pretty allium, the big globe, purple globe ones. And she marked it. It's all planted. She got her hands dirty. Chris didn't have to get her hands dirty. She bought the bulb. The whole thing. That bulbs always sound great in theory, but when it comes to actually planting them, sometimes it's, as you know, more of an ordeal than it always seems to sound like in the store. Anyway, Chris was home, so she actually saw Jean, but it's still a great story and still a great, fun thing to do. I love that. For years, my neighbor and I have been doing May Day baskets for each other. Some years they're elaborate. Other years it's a daffodil that's picked on the side of the road and put in her mailbox. Okay, so I'm starting to get that. I have this to do and this to do. But I think since my thread is up here, I'm going to pick a color to put around. Isn't that fun? Now, let's see what we've got here. Nah, too busy. I need something fun that goes with this pink. So I've cut out lots of hexies. I showed you guys my hexie pincushion, which now that I know how to fill the pincushions, my next one will be even fuller and better. Remember that one? Here's the little girl. Here she is. Hello, little girl. You know, so I don't know what this is, but I probably brought with me 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think I have another spool in the car. 5 spools of thread. I have brought at least 3 scissors. I definitely have a problem. I'm just so worried that I'm going to be without. Did I ever tell you the time I went hiking in Norway? For 3 weeks, and I came home bigger than when I left because I was so worried when we were hiking on the glaciers from hut to hut, and I was with people that didn't speak English. I was so afraid that we would get lost and we wouldn't have food that every time I got to a hut, I would eat as much as I could, and then we'd walk to the next one. Anywho. Ooh, this is a pretty bright. Ooh, you're going to like this. Won't that be pretty? That will be perfect. Isn't it interesting? No one has come over to see what we're doing here. I'm talking to a computer sitting on the floor in a hotel, and people don't care. And why should they? We're just wacky quilters. All right, I'm going to go back down here since I have to baste my pink. So I'm going to do one more here. So Jean's working on a crossword quilt. Judy has probably done all sorts of volunteer things all week long and gotten the cars fixed and recalled. Oh, I got my new sticker, my car inspection sticker. It expired in September, so we thought it was a good thing to get the October inspection sticker before this trip. See, I'm just sewing this up. And I must say, if Becca's out there or many of you who recommended the Superior Bottom Line thread, I've not bought it yet. I can't find it in stores, and I have looked for it on Amazon, and I will order it. I just haven't gotten around to it. And this Aurifil actually is working pretty well. Although, if I read right, the bottom line is polyester, so that should be stronger than this cotton. Okay. I hope that for the last few minutes it hasn't been going in and out. The signal, that is. shall we do next week when we're back in the studio? Let me know. I know Sweet Woodruffs mentioned doing a leaf block during the fall with all the autumn leaves falling. I'm open. I really should. We could keep doing our Dear Jane. Maybe that's what I'll do. But I want to keep you guys excited or interested in seeing something new. All right. So for the basting, I've been using this quilting thread. There's a fireplace right over there. It would have been nice to do this in front of that, but I couldn't figure out the angle of the camera. New people keep joining us every week. It's welcome to our new folks. This is a bit of an anomaly, doing this kind of the floor. But once a year, we got to get to a college football game. Okay, so see, I'm just basting these bright pink ones. Ow. I can always stick myself. Go. All right. So there's my first one. And that will go right there. I think I'm going to put it right on. That way you can see a little bit of the pink. Before we call it another Friday FiberCast from the road. Isn't that funny? Maybe we should start. See, every road trip, though, you learn something new. And technology is getting better than when later we'll be able to go and go into quilt stores, and they'll have their internet, and we'll be able to do FiberCast from there, from different quilt stores around the country. I know it. It's just a matter of time. Jean says, yes. Oh, it's her mother's mother. Okay, so I was wrong. Mother's mother, yes, first names on the crossword quilt, and her mother's brilliant. Her mother's brilliant. Well, I have no doubt you're brilliant. note, she says, I've definitely got a problem. You're pretty funny. Oh, very funny. Hey, folks. Oh, I'm psyched. Karen K says, watching you from work again. You're so funny. Had a blast with Bonnie Hunter last Friday at the workshop and Saturday at the Guild. A third of the way through, my pineapple blossom will post a pic. Enjoy doing your hexies. Are you posting pictures on the Dear Jane site on Facebook? Happy weekend, says Karen. You know what? I was thinking about that, and I haven't, and I'm going to. I'm going to start doing that so that I get to know people. Groups. Let me know